This is just a little look back, so you can see what I had then, and you can see what I have now. I think it's pretty representative of what you have seen in my collection over the years. But anyway, enjoy. So it's just rained here Saturday afternoon, which is always nice. Creates a little bit more humidity in the greenhouse and outside. Here's my Chisis aurea, which has finished blooming, and it looks like these look like seed pods to me. Because these used to be these are the spent blooms. So we'll see what happens with that. Never considered doing seed culture, but if anyone sees this really quick and wants to try to germinate them, you can always ask me. And right next to it is my Silogeny cristata. New growths are still looking pretty strong and healthy, and so far we haven't had a hot summer like we usually do, and so it's stayed pretty much where it is. Probably have to move it in at some point. And here I have a couple more cases that are showing some new growth. There's one, and here's another one over here. This is my Great Gum Linford White Star, I believe, Linford Beauty. Roots are looking pretty good on this one. It's actually an active growth. That is a new leaf that is emerging. This is my humongous Cattleya. Boringiana. Well, I guess it's not a focus, but anyway, it's Boringiana. And I just repotted a lot of my plants, so I never repotted this one, so did a couple weeks ago, and there's already so many new pseudobulbs coming up. Looks like it's getting about 2 per well, this one has 1, but typically it gets 3 new growths a year. But obviously it liked that repot because it's sending up 2 shoots per now. God love that. Reliable bloomer for me. Loves it right in the spot. Mostly full morning sun, afternoon shade. Big plant. And over on this side, my Neophoenicia still has a few blooms on it. Still exhibiting that sweet fragrance. Noticed on my Psychopsis, which is up here, I have 3 spikes that are growing. There's 2 over here. And there's 1 right here. So we will see what happens with that. It's another recent repot. Probably repotted it maybe a couple months ago. Also my Schomburgia. Which one is this? Engelada. It's got some healthy new growths coming up. This is also a recent repot, so we'll see how that goes. It's always produced a flower, well not a flower, but a spike every year, but spike always aborts when it gets to be about this tall, so last year it made it to be this tall, so we'll see. Maybe I'll be more successful this year since it's been repotted. Keep my fingers crossed. And down here, this is my Angraecum scatianum. Still blooming off of the same flower spikes. 1 there and 1 there. These buds just formed within the last couple of weeks. And up above, my Giganteum Phalaenopsis times Corningana. Still got a few blooms on it, but it is going out of bloom. It was nice while it lasted, put on a great show. Very healthy plant, indeed. Over here, I still got this Angraecum didiere. It's got, I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's 1, 2, 3 spikes. Who knows when they will develop? These plants are very slow growing, so it may be months. But again, I'm patient. Going further down, up here, is my Irides Lawrenceanum. Lawrencei. It's got 2 spikes. There's 1 there. There's 1 there. These are very fragrant. Blooms. They do hang very pendant, sort of in clusters. Pinkish, pink and white to darker shade of pink to lavender and white, intensely fragrant. I've had this Phalaenopsis schilleriana for a couple of years and it didn't do anything. This year, summer, it started a new leaf finally, and just the other day I noticed that it had a new root on it, so maybe it's coming around. My Angraecum eclairianum, still in bloom. This was really attacked by the slugs and the snails. Just couldn't keep it from the slugs, honestly. Since they need to be watered every day, it would pretty much take away the slug bait that was in the bottom of the, on top of the media. But Maybe there's a couple more flowers. Looks like that's a flower. It's probably going to develop over time. That might be a root. But it also might be a flower. They will rebloom off of the same spike, which I've not known to happen quite frequently with this particular plant, but who knows? Let me see what else. Oh, this is something new. This is my Gongora. And I won't even try to read the name. Quinquenervis. Sorry, it's not really in focus. But I just kind of noticed this a few weeks ago, and it's pendant, as most Gongoras are. And I'm looking forward to those blooms. I do believe they have a slight fragrance to them as well. So, this other Phalaenopsis, this is a species, Amboyensis. It's just started blooming. There's the flowers. I've heard it has a fragrance to it, but I haven't really detected one yet. Sit down here. Oh, I wanted to show you this. This is my arachnites, Angraecum Eranthus arachnites. Right here, it's hanging, and it's got all these long inflorescence, which have keikis on the ends of them. And I just noticed that the majority of these keikis, indeed, well, if I could focus in on it, there are roots. That's a little bit better. There's roots on a lot of these. There's some. So I don't know. I might leave them attached for a while, since they are doing so well. Here's another one. And here's the plant. No flowers, but a lot of keikis. This is also something that's going to be in bloom pretty soon, I believe. This is my Phalaenopsis hieroglyphica. And this actually has some spikes coming on, and they look like they're going to be producing buds pretty soon. And here's another one over here on this side. Here's another Angraecum actually that just lost its flower maybe a week ago off of this spike, but I would be venture to say that it's going to develop another spike, another flower, but we will see. By the way, this is Angraecum Walnut Valley Star. I do like my Angraecoids. And this is another Eranthus. This is actually Onricii. It's got a new little leaf coming out. show you. These are some repots, recent repots. All angry quarters. Aranthes grandiflora. This is Angraecum longestact. And this over here is Arangus elroy, Iroy, which is a cross between Elysia and Modesta. Speaking of Modesta, Modesta's right here. It likes it more shady than some of the other plants. And this is another long spike. And that is in the blue that is developing. Cats that are doing okay, and my very big cat that's got lots of new growth. And I actually see a couple of snails. Speaking of the buggers, there is a snail. Anyway, it's a snail. So there's lots of new growths in there anyway. These particular mounts are putting out some new growth as well. Ribophyllum, Bacillimum, lots of nice roots. And there's another growth right there. My little Aranthes, or Arangus. Well, there's some Aranthus and Arangus that I mounted on this Angel's Trumpet. It's Brugmansia. Doing okay. I mean, he lost a leaf here, but there's another growth in there. This one, Hyaloids, Arangus Hyaloids, is doing pretty well. There's a new flower. Looks like it's taken to the mount. And this grandiflora, Aranthus grandiflora, has a new growth. So it does look like I was successful, but I will just have to still make sure that I provide these with the adequate air movement and moisture to the roots until I see roots, which time I can probably take this stocking off and let the roots, because by that time the roots will have been attached to the tree. But it's probably still a little ways to go for that. I did have another one here that has already died. But otherwise, so far so good. And I think that's probably about it for what's going on in my greenhouse. Anyway, happy growing.